Hmm.
I don't know what do you guys call it. Like, are he
Like
like
when
what
you
do you
say
call it?
peanut,
Like those you can say no. There are certain you can say
dal kind of.
yeah, certain kind of namkeens. They you just make a
Mixtures.
mixture of it and
Yes, 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 yes. Everybody do
Sev.
this.
yes.
Sev.
Some of them they call it save. Some of them they call it jhal mori something. Some of them they
Yeah,
call
share,
something.
share. Yes, that is good.
Sev is right word. Yeah.
Whenever my friends are having it, then I eat it, and they scold me for it.
So Jatin, do you drink?
No, brother. But I was try in my college.
Okay, you have tried in your college days.
In two time.
Two time. And like
Yes.
first time and I understood why second time?
For recognizing my first taste.
Okay, okay. And after that, didn't you think like third time I should also try?
No. After that, I started my gym. Now that's all.
Okay, so people who go to gym they don't prefer.
No. It's a totally depend upon your own choice. But I don't want to drink.
Mhm. No, good. It's great to be away from such things
Yes.
because some of them they can control, some of them it's like uncontrollable.
Yes. It's a totally depend upon your mental state, I think.
So Raceless and Jagu, like, do you believe in incarnation?
Incarnations. Yes, I do believe.
What about you, Raceless?
Yes, I also believe.
Actually, today I watched one of the story. So, so
Yesterday I spoke on this topic for 1 hour.
reincarnation.
Yes,
In which Alice?
in Breeze Jealous, Neo Jealous.
Neozealous. Okay.
Yes.
So I would like to listen. Like, if you know any stories, so I would like to listen the reincarnation story. What did you share?
Although I have never read anything about it, but I will tell you what I used to listen in childhood or in the middle age. I'm in the middle age, but still, whatever the life I had. There are three Atmas we have. One is Brahmatma, and the Atma that we are having in our body, and one more Atma. So this is not good for us. Like this life cycle is not good for us. What do we say? Life and death cycle. So our aim is to get rid of this cycle and become that third Atma, which is Brahmatma. It's
Okay.
it's nothing. It's nothing but a god. Brahmatma is nothing but a god's soul. Once you're going to get liberated from this cycle, you will become God. You will become everything. Whatever the
So,
world, the
Restless,
universe.
like what I watched today. So, let
Mm-hmm.
me share with you.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I just came across with a video, and on that video, a guy he was talking about reincarnation, and there's a girl actually. So there's a girl. Sorry, there was a girl. Her name is Santi Devi. Like, and those days you can say in somewhere in 1920s. Okay, in
Okay.
1920s when she was born. So she born somewhere in UP, somewhere in UP, and when she was 4 year old, then she said to her parents, like, this is not my real home. I want to go my real home. Like, so at the age of 4 or 5 year, four. Like as per the video, at the 4 year old. So their parents they
Mm-hmm.
asked, like, but this is your real home. So where you want to go? She said, no, this is not my real home. I want to go to Mathura because that is my real home. So since she was a 4 year old kid, so they did not believe on her. But she kept saying this, no? Every now and then she just kept saying this, I want to go there, I want. So like their parents, out of curiosity, they asked like, who are you? Why you want to go there? So she said like, no, she took a name of a guy and she said he's my husband, and you can say it has been 10 years since I have died, and I died after delivering a birth of a baby, and then I'm here, like then I got a born at this place, but I want to go to Mathura. So again, like they heard it, but nobody relied on her statement because she was a 4 year old kid. So, but over the period, like no, then they just admitted her in a school, and she started saying this true in school as well. Like my parents, they are not sending me there, this and that. So then they again asked further things. Then she took her name of husband. Like my husband name is this. He's a businessman, and his shop is at this place. His shop is at this place. You can see the main temple, Barkadhi's temple, like no, the just
Mm-hmm.
in front of that. So then like what has happened then in those days, like then his principal and other people, like no, they were really concerned because girls every day, every single day she started saying this, I want to go, I want to go. Are
Mm-hmm.
no, Vaswat, I would share the link as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
And
yes, लेकर रहना दो, like just stop.
yeah, so what has happened then, like then you would say, I would say then, like then it got no, it like, as you know, those days, like before 1947, so most of the news, those were the negative related to freedom, yeah. But this news, like even though that this news was covered into the news as well, so this news that got covered in news, like there's a girl and she's talking in a such a way and she's claiming that, and she narrated her whole story as well, like what has happened to her, this and that. Even she said like, if I'll go there, I would meet my child as well, right? However, she was a 4-year-old kid. So then media people, they came up there, so like people then they encouraged, right? And there were certain, you could say, psychologists as well, and other reporters and researcher, they said like, no, if she's claiming it, so let her go there, like let's go there and let's check it out whether it is something which she said like that exists or doesn't. You won't believe, like when she went over there, like but before she just went over there, you can say some of the you can say the legal team, they went over there. Whatever she
Mm-hmm.
narrated, they found the same. They found the same. So again they thought like maybe it could be a coincidence, because sometimes it happens, what you said, the same thing you would find over there, right?
Yeah.
So then she said like, then again they asked like, could you just narrate the your, like the face of your husband? So she shared 3 marks on his body, and the same thing they identified, uh you can say, on that man, the same thing they identified over there. And then post that, when she went over there, so when she went over there, so first she touched, you can say, like when they took her there, so she just, there was so much crowd, she went and there was a guy, she touched his feet. So people ask them, who is they? Then she said, he's my father-in-law, right? And that was true. That was true. And then she started getting each and every member of the family. However, she has never been into the Mathura, and she was just 4-year-old kid, right? And then she said like, even still people, they were in doubt, they thought like maybe this could be something again, no, maybe it's just a coincidence. Then she said like, in the this part of house, like I have just saved some money, and that is my own saved money, like no, which I hide it from my husband. So even though that thing also recovered from there, right? Because why? Because that was somewhere in the, you can say, where she used to do the dishes. So there was a corner somewhere, she just she just dug the, you can say, soul, and she just hide it over there. So the story was all about that, and I just read about that, and everything matched up. Then what has happened, even though then Mahatma Gandhi, like in those days, Mahatma Gandhi, he just he were part of this news as well.
He formed
Because
a committee to testify this event in
yeah, yeah,
1934.
yeah,
This
even
was a very famous case then.
yeah, even though like we had a committee as well, like then Mahatma Gandhi, he formed a committee. He said like, no, if a girl, she's claiming, and most of the evidence, like everything is inclined towards that, everything is no true, so let's form a committee. They found a committee, even like committee, everything, like no, that was in support of her. So that is what I just wanted to say. So then, even though Mahatma Gandhi, he just wrote in some of his statements and books, like he talked about the reincarnation, like it is there. And you can just, there are certain people, they born, maybe then again they get birth, and they can remember their previous thing, the way that 4-year-old child claimed everything.
There is one more case like this, similar case, but the guy was from Gujarat, uh, and like he was claiming
But
that
Restless,
he
this
is.
is one thing with the news which I'm sharing. There was can you just think about it? If government form a committee, it means like that is a national, you can say, a news
Yes,
and concern, and just because of that, like people are investigating and you are forming a committee
exactly.
Even
and
British officers was also part of that committee. You can read
But do you
Wikipedia
know,
page.
but do you know what's interesting thing? When scientists are not able to find or make a judgment on it, they call it disease.
yeah, they call it but disease again.
They call
They
it
call it
disease or
illusion
something.
or psychological default.
Yes, exactly. They will say that like there is something fault or something which is happened in the brain, and that's why these guys are
Malfunction of
like
brain.
this. Yeah, like, so okay, that's okay.
And restless, even the I just made it short, but when you just watch that video, she claimed many things, and all those things they found, like no, even though like what uh, her husband he used to like, what are the certain code words he which he used to use only for his wife, right?
Mhm.
And as I said, like even uh, some of the, you can say, people who used to come at her place, she just recognized them as well. And she just 4 year old kid, she took their name, like she identified each and everyone. So like he's that person, she's that person, right? So it was in a very detail, and I was really shocked. Like when I read about it, then I thought, like, I don't know. Even some of the later on, what has happened? This news that went on the international level, right? Even though some of the German, there was a German scientist. Even initially he claimed it is a false, but later he accepted that is a truth on the based of all the, you can say, evidences.
Mhm.
Yes, man, like it's true.
Again, scientifically, it's not easy to prove whether it is true or not. But yes, many scholars who are very famous and
Do you know,
scientific scholars.
Avini, I
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
one of the dialogues from Osho. Uh, See, I believe in science, It's not like that I completely deny the science or I'm a guy who is superstitious and who believes on the superstitions. But there is one statement from Osho, and it is there are three things: known, unknown, and unknowable.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. One thing I would like to share, it's all about the actual meaning of consciousness. In Sanskrit, we have man, chit, buddhi, ahankar. These are parts of consciousness, and that is also we have Adhidevi body and Adhishakti, Avibhautik body. So uh, the body we are having, physical being, that's physical, but the consciousness we are having, that is a spiritual one. So it didn't like it cannot be destroyed as per our Vedas. Uh, but
Mhm.
scientifically, it is not proof. It is not possible to prove what is consciousness. Consciousness, in terms of we use the Sanskrit word pran. So, it's very something which is beyond science. So, but yes, there are many scientists, even scholars like Steve Wilson or Pluto. You may have heard about them, and they also believed in reincarnation, and they have given a very scientific explanation as well. And like even Newton, the Sir Isaac Newton, very famous scientist who gave theory of gravitation or like theory of motion. You may have heard about it. Newton also said that the universe, the way universe is designed, the God must be a very professional mathematician, and every now and then, like in every regular period of time, that mathematician who formed this universe, they are coming and they are trying to reform and they are trying to recorrect if there is some problem in the world. So even Newton also gave a hint that he also believed that God comes in every like regular period of time and he reincarnated. So I mean there are many such things, but in like materialistic science, like in materialistic in the way of classical physics, it's not really possible to prove it. But if you believe in, so you can't this is something which could be beyond science. That's why science is not able to prove in a physical way. But yes, if you are being very materialistic, then you can deny this. So, and if you are able to deny this, if you are very adamant, then I will not have so many points to prove the actual theory, whether it is true or not. But I can only say that these are the things which are beyond science. So if you believe, then but you can't entirely deny the like
Hey,
possibility.
man, like science is just old, like 200, 300, 400 years old.
Mhm.
Nothing as such. We don't know anything about this. We know 1%.
Of
Whatever
course,
we
guys.
know,
Like we
all the
know
people on
pretty
this
less.
in
No,
this
this
world.
like even though the whole universe is a kind of
Yeah.
mystery, right? And I understand like science has developed a lot, but still somewhere, some you can
Yeah,
say.
science has not developed to even figure out 0.00001% of the universe.
Exactly.
Universe is so massive.
Mhm. So, what was your
But
story, Restless, like which you were about to share about reincarnation? I would like to
yeah,
listen.
yeah. The same story. The same story. I will not narrate everything. You can just replace the character. There was one guy who claimed that I'm not like your kid, or I'm not this person. My name is this. I'm like, what do we say? I stay in this building, and he was a general, kind of general, and I'm this person. He claimed this, and like when they took him over there, like he told each and everything the way you said, no, and
Hmm.
everyone was shocked, like how he can say these kind of things, or he can tell everything in such a way, or even though he never visited that place.
Hmm.
Yeah, also there was a guy. I guess he was from Haryana in 2011, maybe from Haryana or Uttar Pradesh. I'm not sure about that. And he was around 7 or 8 year old, and he was also on live news. I saw in Hindi news channel IBN 7. So he was claiming everything, and when reporter went to that village, so whatever he claimed, that was absolutely correct the way he said. So I mean, again, like, uh, I can't really say what was the reason, but like there are some cases which are still mystery, and so that basis you can
Even
say.
Agni,
And
you were not there, I guess, but I told you, like I told these guys, there is one girl in my locality, like she is kind of friend. She's older than me, but she's kind of friend to me. One day something happened to her. Like we say in such a way that like soul entered in her body, and she started speaking Bengali, although she is not at all connected to any Bengali person, or she has never come across to any Bengali language. But
but
still,
people,
she started
this,
speaking
if you
in
would
a one
ask to
day. In
science,
one
so
day,
science would say this is something mental disorder. No, like they would.
yes, that's the point. That's the point. And
Even
I don't give a shit about people who will say that you're lying, or like, because I have seen that by my own eyes. She was speaking in Bengali, and later on, her parents called a Bengali person to know what she exactly is saying. You know, it's not a case that I have heard from someone else. I have seen that by my, like on my own, because
Mhm.
she was my friend.
Understand, Restless. Like, see, if you have
Yeah, like,
experienced something, you know someone, and
I got scared. I got scared the way she was looking at us, and she was saying something, and we were not able to understand what exactly she is saying.
Mhm. Even the story, the video which I watched, like something brain, something like no, the name of that brainy something, the name of that page, even that you can say YouTuber, he gave some other reference, not just this. He said like the
Mhm.
similar case that has happened in Brazil. One of them, like he just took 3 to 4 names from the different countries as well, where there was you can say proper investigation, a researcher, no, a organized team. They have investigated and they have found the proof as well. So, okay, let's welcome to Alexa and Agni. Sorry, and Prish. Hi, Prish. Hi, Alexa.
hi Alexa.
Hi,
Hello,
Prish.
Krish. Hello, Alexa. Oh, ho, 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 ho. So nice, but like I expected for me only, Alexa,
Mhm.
but that's okay.
Sattu. Who is Sattu over here?
Sattu is my name, Satyendra. You know, from that movie, uh, that IS Thukra Ke Mera Pyar, that movie. Don't you know?
Okay, okay, Sattu. Okay. Hi,
Yeah,
Prish.
Hello.
How are you, Prish?
Okay.
So, Chris, we are talking about reincarnation. Actually, I came up with a video,
Mm-hmm.
and where I saw a video. That video was somewhere in 1920, and even though there was a committee as well that was found by Gandhi ji, like in those days he was in the, you can say, power, and there was a certain team they
Yeah, yeah.
investigate. Mhm.
About some women.
Shanti Devi, yeah.
Right, Santi Devi.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So he was interested in Gandhiji about this reincarnation, and maybe she was telling some stories, something like that, or she was knowing something, like she was claiming that I know what happened in my past life, right?
Right, 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 right.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just
So
talking.
what is your opinion?
My opinion, that is what I shared. Like, if I just go with the story, the way she narrated, and the way every proof and the evidence, like, no, what she said, that is what they discovered. Even though some of the things only a wife she can know about her husband, even though the same thing she shared. Not just that, even being as a 4 year old kid, like, because she's a 4 year old kid, no, so 4 year old kid, if she's claiming that she's the wife of someone, I mean, even she has never been into the Mathura, but she said, like, just take me there because that is my home and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just thinking about that, and that is what we are discussing.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? I know you are a science guy, and according to you, you would not believe in this theory. That is okay, but I would like to listen your thought. Like, if you don't want to believe, then what is your thought? Like, because it's good to listen some on a uh, gray side of the moon as well, not the bright side of the moon. So what do you think about it?
So I don't believe in these kind of things, like, because so reincarnation, it basically it says that, like, maybe this like soul concept is there, which is different from your body, that your soul will
Are
be
Pris,
immortal.
Pris, it's so much
Hmm?
noise. So much noise is also coming. Like, where are you? Some background noise is
Uh,
coming a lot from your side.
yeah, it is of exhaust. AC is exhaust all the time. I can't do
Okay.
anything with it. So is it fine now?
Yeah, I think better than before.
Mhm. Okay, just give me a second. Um, so I was saying, like, so to believe in this thing, so it means that you are believing in the concept of soul, which says this, like, your soul will be immortal. It is there for eternity, and maybe it will come back. It will be in different body, and that's how you will get to know that you were some different kind of person in your past life, and that's how you will claim that I was doing, or I have done that, those kind of things. So I don't think like this is like there is something. These kind of things can be proved with proper evidences or with proper experiments. So I think it is more of personal experiences. Like, even there is in uh, like there is logical fallacy as well about this thing. Like the restless was saying something. So it is like the personal experiences cannot be considered as proof for something, because when, so even with Carl Sagan, he said, like, when you are claiming something extraordinary, so the extraordinary evidences should be needed. So it is not like you are claiming this kind of thing and you are giving evidence like, oh, I heard it. So it should be properly documented. There should be well-established facts that she wasn't aware of any language or something before that. So it should be well-researched. Like when we say this kind of thing, so it should be exhaustively studied by some professionals who are suppose linguistics or psychologists, or and mostly, like, when people say this, like even today, like, I just left in between because I went somewhere else. So right now, these days, I'm reading this book, the Richard Dawkins, The God Delusion. So even in that book, he said this thing, like the people who are mostly say this thing. like they are possessed by some spirit, or they are under influence of some atma, this kind of thing. There is some problem in their frontal cortex. And even I have seen this thing. So maybe it is just a coincidence, but I have seen this example in my colony. There is one old woman. She used to do. Even my mother used to go her in her home, though. Like my father, like my family is not that like they don't believe in blind superstitions, but it is like somehow some of the family members, they will force you to do this thing. So once my mother went there, so it was like she is so one deity will be there and her spirit, so she used to act like her spirit will be so that deity will be in her, and she will talk through that. It's like she was messenger.
Please, background noise is a lot, man. Like, see. I would say, it's too much, man. Like, it was, uh,
What kind of background? Like, is it
it's like,
sound of exhaust fan or some
yeah,
more than that?
something like something is blowing a lot. Like, it's like you are just in front of a blower and blower is blowing like anything.
Uh, is it of wind?
Yeah, it is a kind of wind.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So see,
So is it fine
Chris,
now?
yeah, Chris, we are not talking about like no, all of a sudden you'd act different. See, I'm talking about the case of Santi Devi, and she's 4-year-old kid, right? Being as a 4-year-old kid, like if you say that is a delusion, illusion, or something like mental disease, or some maybe some fallacy. So a 4-year-old kid, like she doesn't understand anything, right? She doesn't understand anything.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's claiming
Mm-hmm.
something and she's narrating, and see, just because of somebody's narration, even I would not believe. But even though if Gandhiji, like he formed a committee, and of course when a
No,
committee
no,
gets,
no. See. Though we can accept his contribution in the freedom struggle, but it doesn't mean that like whatever he will say was the truth, or we should take it seriously. So even some of these ideas he was having, they were regressive, his ideas, and some of like which we cannot even implement, like the things he talked about the rural economy or something. So it is not like just because he is Gandhiji, so all the things he said we should take it
I no
seriously.
no 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 no.
Sometimes
See see
some
see 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 see.
it is like one person is
Are,
expert in something, then it cannot be possible that he is expert on everything which he can comment on.
can you just reduce the noise first so that we can just have a healthy conversation? Because of noise, no, like it's somewhere it is
So
irritating.
is it okay now?
Yeah, it is okay, but slowly and gradually it is increasing. So yeah. So what I'm trying to
I
say,
can't do
Pris,
anything for it.
yeah, Pris, what I'm trying
Mhm.
to say, if a government form a committee, and you know that like when we form a committee, so in committee it's not like some peon and you can say a lower grade people, they would go and they would investigate, because if there's a committee, so there would be certain people there, they have expertise into that, right? That this is one fact. And as I said, like 4-year-old kid, see, if a 20-year, like 15, 10, still I would understand, but if a 4-year-old kid, she's claiming something, and on the basis of that
Mhm.
claim, every fact and figure that is matching with her claim, and not just that, even though the scientist, like you can say, I think a person who is also researcher from the Germany, even he no like when he heard this, he also verified and even he agreed upon that, like yeah, that was a true case, right? How when she claimed, so I won't say it is a case of an individual and where just no, she put some fact and like people just accepted it. And even that was one of the, you can say, very viral news in those days. Why? Because if I talk about 1947, so most of the time people, they were just listening about freedom and all, right? So this was the only news those days, like it spread like a, like just like the fire that spread in a jungle. So it was like that. So I'm not talking about a case like somebody claimed and that was within a territory, right? It was something which was on the, even on it went like I would say outside. Hello, am I audible, guys? Hello. Hi, Raceless. Jaggu. Hello. Hi, everyone. I think I lost you guys. Hello, am I audible? You are audible. Okay, I'm audible. Okay, great, great. So, you are audible. I'm speaking. Jaggu, but I cannot hear you, Jaggu.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, okay. There is some technical glitch or maybe.
So, yes. So actually, Pris is not there. So, Pris, like as you said, like no, you said the fallacy. You said some disease as well. I understood, and most of the time that works. But this case, which I watched this video, that was like again, no, it just made me think. Is there something?
Mhm. Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really, he said, right, he rightly said that experience of one person cannot be cannot be considered as proper evidence. So it's really not possible to prove the theory of like reincarnation or not. But just like it's not possible to prove the theory of the existence of God. For example, I went to some places, spiritual places, and I feel differently over there. I don't feel the way, the level of energy in my home, the level of energy or difference, like the level of vibe or momentum I feel in that spiritual places. So it again, it could be my illusion, or it could be those experience whichever I had, that could be just my illusion. So it cannot be taken as evidence to prove whether the theory of incarnation is true or not. But again, it's not the thing. But it's all about your personal experience or belief. If you have personally experienced it or you believe it, then it's okay. But scientifically, it's really not possible to prove it. So it's
I understand, Agni, understand, but like again, but we cannot ignore it as well because
yeah, we cannot ignore it.
ignore it. Even I would say, guys, like I don't know, like you, if anyone who has a different opinion, just watch this video. Like, go on YouTube, search the Santi Devi videos, like Santi Devi. She's a 4-year-old kid, right? Just go and watch that video, and you would just get couple of fact on that, right? Couple of facts you would get that, and then maybe somewhere you'd understand. I understand, like no, because when we talk about in a scientific way, so science needs some validation, they need some proofs, right? But when we talk about reincarnation, God, and some spirituality, so again, then uh, like it's hard to prove, but it is like the people who have experience, only they can just maybe share the knowledge. And sometimes
Yeah,
there are certain things which you cannot express, that is just a feeling.
yeah, that is beyond classical physics to explain.
So yeah, restless,
Mhm.
are you with us, or restless, did you sleep?
Like many, I already mentioned the names of some of the like philosopher like
I'm listening.
Pluto,
I'm listening.
Stevenson. They also believed in the theory of reincarnation on the basis of their research and experience. So it's all about your personal experience. If you have experienced any such things, or any of the colleagues or any of the known person to you who experienced such things, so you will have a strong feeling to believe in these things, and it's absolutely fine. It's all about the personal experience. Of course, it is not scientifically easy to prove, but we cannot deny, or we cannot just ignore the things that.
Okay, cool. Like love for my crush. Hmm. But Rocky Bhai, I would say just go watch a video of like Santi Devi, like 4-year-old kid. Just watch that video. Like maybe if you'd get something out of that, then I would love to know that what exactly it was. Because today I came across with that video, and I don't know, but like I found it, in a very different context, like the way everything was, you can say, organized, because it was not just someone's claim, and even though there was a committee, right? So I hope you guys believe in
But like scientific community is not sticking to one conclusion. They change their conclusions over time. So this is not their final conclusion. That's
Yeah, of
okay.
course. Even every theory, like no, there is an advanced version of that, like what they've said, and then later on it got changed.
So I was just going through the committee that established or that said by this Gandhiji. So it says this like the most of the people, almost all Gupta, Mathur, Sharma, they were from particular like International Aryan Committee, which is the Arya Samaj, a Hindu sect, strongly believed in reincarnation, rebirth, and other beliefs, and that were very strict in that time. So you cannot believe that was it impartial, or they want to strengthen their beliefs by setting up premise that, oh, see, this is what we found, so our whatever concepts we are having are true. They were not
Mhm.
psychologists or to examine her properly.
Okay, so you want to say
So
that
when we read, yeah,
that was
yeah,
just a random committee, right?
if
That was just a random committee. Like it was just like
I'm reading it right now. Yeah, the commission which Gandhi formed said it was real incarnation case in the report by L. Gupta, N.R. Sharma.
He lost his connection.
Prish, we lost you, Prish.
Yeah, it is this, the committee was like mostly people in the committee or the report which submitted, so they were from this International Aryan League, so they were not professional psychologists, because these things come under the, if you talk about psychology, like even if they want to discuss something like was she able to tell the things from her past, so it is a subject of matter under the psychology or the memory, or how do we form the memories, or why was she able to tell the things from the past. So it is somehow linked with the psychology. So they were not professional psychologists uh, to tell all these things. So I don't think like this should be. And even this is like okay, someone. So Gandhiji was not particularly a person who can be right at all the time. So it is like
Mm-hmm.
just because, so it should not. So like you might have heard this thing, like this thing with like there are too many things, like you might know this C.V. Raman. Maybe he won this. You might have listened his name as well. The who won Nobel. Raman, his Subramaniam Chandrasekhar, who also his nephew also won Nobel. So what he did, like he's founder and chairperson of this ISER, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. So when he was there, so he in around 1930s or maybe before, in that period, he denied one female scholar from India just because on the basis of like because she was a female and she couldn't do research properly. So can we accept this kind of opinion, like though he was a great scientist, but we should not tolerate this kind of things as well. In the same way, like suppose J.K. Rowling is a great writer, but the views she's having about LGBTQ is not so good. So it is like just because she is a writer, so it is not like we should tolerate her views about this thing. So a person who is expert in one field, so it is not like he can comment on everything which is not under his expertise.
Well, see, I'm not talking about like Gandhiji, what he said that could be the true. I'm talking about the committee, right? Because committee they have
Yeah, yeah,
certain.
committee also. Committee is not necessarily like impartial all the time. So I just told you that that was from the International Aryan League, and it is part of Arya Samaj. So they were like just reinforcing the belief that this reincarnation is true because they were already believing in these things. And how come like people from a particular society or committee they can do research about this thing? They were not professional psychologists.
Mhm. And but one more thing, like Aman, not just that, like over and above, there was one more researcher from the I think Germany, right? What was his
Ivan
name? Let me just.
Stevenson. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
like
reading about it. Who was in?
Stevenson, yeah. Even if they were like scientists or psychologists, it's not easy to prove the theory of reincarnation scientifically. So it doesn't matter who were in the part of committee. It's always going to bias if like anyway. But yeah, it's not scientifically easy to possible to prove whether reincarnation is true or not. But it's all about the experience. if somebody is having, and personal experience cannot definitely be considered as evidence. But yeah, it's experience if you believe in.
That cannot be considered, Jagu. I do understand, but that cannot be
Mhm.
ignored as well, right?
Yeah, like
Because it doesn't mean like if the whole society or the whole country has not experienced something, so that doesn't exist. Because even though slowly and gradually we are
mhm.
experiencing something, then we are claiming and then we are moving forward. Like for example, suppose that,
Okay.
right, like nobody has thought like ever except this earth there would be a possibility to have a life on some other planets. But now, like, no, after certain investigation, now people they thought no, like we can have life some on other planets as well, right? So, like, if a person, if he would have said maybe 50 years ago or 60 years
So
ago, so
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so in the same way, just because it is possible, so can we say it right now like there is possibility of life, extraterrestrial life? No, unless we have the solid evidence to back it. So we cannot
There
claim
is
it anyway. Like
possibility.
maybe it is existing, maybe it is existing, but unless we have the
Yeah,
evidence to prove it, so we can say it.
we
So our
cannot
the
claim it.
science or the things, yeah. So the
right,
things, it is things cannot be based on the speculations. It should be on evidences.
Yeah, we cannot
So
claim
just
it, but
because
we
you
cannot
have,
deny the possibility.
yeah, that is what we cannot claim, understand, we cannot claim, right? But it's not like we cannot, no, we cannot just like
Yeah, we cannot deny the
yeah, we
possibility.
there
cannot
is
deny.
no, no, no. There is no point in denying. People who not believe or believe, it is, there is no point in denying or something. We cannot, we should not even talk about denying thing. It is like when we are saying something, so when we are saying something, so it is mostly we are there to prove it. So why are we talking about like, then it would be like, then the person who is claiming itself, he is in ambiguous situation. So why should he say this thing in the first place? Because by that
Ambiguous
logic, we cannot
things.
deny anything at all. By that logic, we cannot deny anything at all because there might be something which is possible. It will be applied to everything then.
Yeah, like we can see red color. It doesn't mean they are actually red. Maybe it's illusion of our eyes. Maybe it is just the illusion of photons of light. So it's all about by that logic. Literally, we can deny many things. Even the existence of our own souls, or means existence. Our existence could also be a illusion, as Elon Musk said.
Okay, so what I was about to say, what was that? Just a minute, because I have also opened the Wikipedia about the Santi Devi case. So what did you say, Aman, about the committee? I would just like want to just verify it.